I always love it when you join me here at this time of the day, and it's just a simple reason. And we are going to bring you everything you expect in the world of sport. It's only here on Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Today, maximum focus will be placed on the Black Satellites team, who are looking forward to qualification to the quarterfinal stage of the ongoing World FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Turkey. The Black Satellites surely have a tall order against the highest scoring team in the tournament, Portugal, who have netted 10 goals so far. And Portugal are looking very strong, but the Black Satellites also have a firm resolve to make sure that qualification to the quarterfinal is safe and sealed. That game will be played later today, but right now we will look into camp. We will look at what's been happening in camp and how optimistic the Black Satellites players are ahead of this very big clash. Remember that there will be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM with the man Tony Beverly and a team of seasoned analysts. And of course, every minute of that game will also be captured, and we'll bring you all the big moments on Friday's edition of the show. Also, I'll be telling you about an ailing former Accra Hearts of Oak legend, and he is suffered a stroke, and currently he needs help. We'll be telling you the sad story of Ajiman Dria. Remember that man, that stalwart defender who used to wear the number 15 jersey and won the CAF Champions League with Accra Hearts of Oak, played for Kumasi Asante Kotoko as well, and Ashanti Gold. Well, that man now is in dire need of financial support to help him to overcome and improve his health condition after suffering a massive stroke. We'll also be going into the world of tennis. Surprises continue. Other names are now emerging at the top as we enter the quarterfinal stage of Wimbledon, and we will be getting to know who is progressing and who is likely to get out. So there is a lot to focus on today. We'll also be looking at some other matches that were played in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup and who is progressing. Remember, Ghana is the only remaining African team in the tournament, carrying Africa's torch at the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Is it a possibility? Send a text message 1760. Ghana staged a remarkable recovery, scoring the United States of America 4-1 to get the qualification. Of course, they had to wait till the final game, a final group game that was played on Saturday, to know their fate. But beyond all of that, the Black Satellites are in there, and they're playing the second round game. What do you expect of the team as they play a very, very strong Portugal side later today? Send in a text message is 1760. It will cost you only 30 Ghana pesos, and it's across networks. It's irrespective of the network you are on. So be my guest as I take you through the world of sport, everything that is happening, and I'll also be updating you on some hopeful transfers that are happening, and we'll also be going into the newspapers. But as always, let's just get into some round of commercials, and the show runs on. This is Sports Today, and is only here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV, and my name is Nathaniel Attoh. Well, so we get into the newspapers and the details of all the stories there, and later on in the show we'll also be visiting a controversy among boxing trainers. Now, the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana is asking for the removal of the current national team coach, Ofori Asari, and they've got a couple of reasons. Well, we'll be delving deeply into that subject later on in the show. Like I mentioned to you, today we're throwing big focus on the national under-20 football team, the Black Satellites. Well, let us now get into the details of the newspapers. On the Graphic Sports, is also featuring the Black Satellites team. And there we are. It says, we can go very far. Satellites declare ahead of Portugal clash. There's a picture of Kennedy Ashia, goalkeeper, Eric Entry, and of course, Lawrence Latte, the captain of the team. And Chelsea move for 63 million euro, Edinson Cavani. Okay. And of course, Daniel Sturridge is featured here, and his life beyond football is what the lifestyle page of the Graphic Sports newspaper is focusing on. And so this is it. On the lifestyle page, we've got Daniel Sturridge And obviously everybody has a life, especially the footballers. A lot of them have their lives away from football. There we are. So there we are, the England and Liverpool forward featured there. A smooth, white-colored Porsche Panamera saloon car. Okay. Adding to his list of fine automobiles. So Daniel Sturridge is there. And there is a continuous debate about Ghana's top scorer. I'm talking about Ghana's all-time top scorer. Well, Thomas Freeman Yeboah brings us this article, or this feature, on the features page of the Graphic Sports newspaper. He says Kwesi Owusu and Edward Aqua tie at 40 goals. So the debate will continue. The names and faces will continue. Former Ghana great Kwesi Owusu there. And this is a current picture, obviously. So there we are. So Edward Aqua and Kwesi Owusu are tied on 40 goals. It just looks like if it's 40 goals, then maybe Black Star skipper Asamoah Gyan may just go into breaking that record, as he's now on 35 and looks to be going stronger and stronger. So that is a picture of Edward Aqua, the Ghanaian great, a legend indeed. Let's also feature the center spread images from the President's Cup. There are images from the President's Cup. And skipper Mahatma Otto proudly lifts that trophy there. And of course, the Confederation Cup final. And of course, it was a very, very sad day for Spain, the defending world champions. A big message to them. And President John Dramani Mahama, FA President Kwesi Nyantakyi, Madam Aliza Tipo, and of course, Alhaji Ali Raji, who is the president of the Ghana League Clubs Association, at the final presentation ceremony to mark this year's President's Cup, which saw the attendance, or recorded the attendance of the president of the FA. So we also have images, still images from the camp of the Black Satellites. And it's there in the Graphic Sports newspaper, pictures taken by Emmanuel Quay. And there, Coach Silas Tete conferring with the Black Satellites Management Committee Chairman, George Afriyie. And so it surely is a very, very big script, a tall order for the Black Satellites team, who have no choice but to deliver today to ensure qualification to the quarterfinal. Obviously, if the Black Satellites are unable to go through, then there will be big reactions. So there we are, Tema Youth CEO Winfred Osei, Coach Kwesi Appiah there. And Ike Attoh, who's a Satellites Management Committee member. Ike Attoh is head of the FA's marketing committee, and they were there looking on. So goalkeepers Michael Sai and Eric Entry also having their bit of the intensive training, a regimen ahead of that game. So there we are. There are a few interesting local stories on the local story page, which I'll just like to quickly run by you. The Dragons are to impress at the World Boat Championship. There we are. So the Dragons, the Black Dragons, they are the national boat racing team, and Ghana is now gradually warming itself into water sport. So there we are. And there is more in the newspapers. We also want to take a look at what's happening on the international scene. And FC Porto are holding on to Attoh despite Liverpool's interest. There we are. And obviously, Christian Attoh is unlikely to stay at FC Porto, but the Portuguese club is still holding on to him according to that story. And the members of the FIFA Technical Study Group say that the Under-20 World Cup has seen some very quality play. Big indications for the future of club football, international football as well, all over the world, if these crop of players are maintained and kept in their respective national teams. Remember, the text code is 1760. The Black Satellites face an uphill task against the Portuguese side, which will play them today in that game. So let's now go into more details here. And there we have a picture of Neymar on the 90 Minutes front page. And he surely is a hero. And they say 3 million Ghana cedis worth Porsche automobile, and that belongs to Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan. And Swansea apparently have beaten Inter Milan for €5 million worth Mubarak Wakaso. So there are more pictures in the center spread as well. And remember, we're bringing you the 90 Minutes newspaper. There we are. It's the man Neymar. And this is the Wonder Kid. Many people are looking forward to seeing him live up to the hype. Done it fairly at this just ended Confederation Cup. And he wears the iconic number 10 jersey. Remember, that jersey is highly revered, and therefore anybody who wears it must surely live up to it. So there are many stories also in the inside pages. And of course, there, Man United offer for Ronaldo. It's a 50 million sign-on fee, £50 million. That's a lot of money. And Cristiano Ronaldo always smiling to the bank. There in a private jet with his partner. And of course, this is the 3 million Ghana cedi Porsche Cayenne SUV. And it's $148,000. And of course, he can afford it. He's playing some good football there in the United Arab Emirates, getting on a very, very good salary, hundreds of thousands of dollars every week, tax-free. So he surely has to enjoy the golden roses as well. So we do some more here on the show. We'll be bringing you some more stories. Now, the big focus is on the Black Satellites team. We'll be making an attempt to get on the phone lines and also talk to our man, Kwame Jumo Ajiman, later on. But right now, let's just take a look at how the team is preparing for, for Portugal, who obviously are a very strong side and will be bringing a game to Ghana.
Thank you very much. At least we're looking forward for this game. At least we've worked extremely very hard to reach this stage, and this is a vital stage for us. I believe our headway to the top is for us to overcome the hurdle of this 1/16. So at the moment, we are well prepared, ready for the task ahead, and we're going to work very hard towards it tomorrow.
Yes, Coach, I just want to find out from you what you've been doing as far as our watching Portuguese tapes are concerned. They've scored an average of 3.3 goals in the 3 matches they played so far. We have scored an average of 1.67 goals in the 3 matches we played so far. They concede far less. We have conceded an average of 1.67 again in all the 3 games that we've played in the group stages. Is that a concern for you? My name is Kwame Jumajumai from Ghana.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, this is a wonderful statistics. And in football, when we reach this kind of stages, statistics doesn't come in strongly. Besides, I remember that we're coming from 2 different groups. We all agree, connoisseurs of the game agrees that our group was the toughest of all the groups. So definitely there will be difficult times there. But better still, yes, it is a concern. Yes, it is a motivator for us to work very hard. Yes, it's also a clear indication to let us know that our opponents are going to be a tougher one. But we need not to be told again, because coming from a tough group, and we reach this stage, it seriously tells us that this is a game we have to go all out to do our best and qualify. So that is exactly what we shall be doing. Thank you.
The man, Silas Tete, and he is looking forward to ensuring a very important victory for the Black Satellites team against Portugal as we get ready for that one. In a bit, we'll be getting close to the man Kwame Jumajuman as well, and Kwame Jumajuman will be bringing us an update on what's happening in camp. But right now, let's throw focus on Kwesi Nyantakyi, who has been given another big responsibility from the World Football Governing Body, and he recently was given the role at the Confederation of African Football as well, been given a few roles where it has to do with fair play as well, now an executive committee member as well. But he's been able to rise up the ladder, and that's the most important thing. So he's also been talking about the chances of the Black Satellites team as well. Let's take a listen to FA President Kwesi Nyantakyi.
My recent appointment to the FIFA Associations Committee is probably an endorsement of the hard work that we've over the years put into the game, and a recognition for that, and also the belief that I'll be able to add something to the development of the game at the level of FIFA. I believe that's why FIFA has brought me on board. I also believe my presence there will help to a large extent in equipping me with skills and the knowledge that I can transmit back to my local federation, and also strengthen the capacity of the association to manage football in our country. The Associations Committee usually deals with the settlement of disputes, mostly in Africa and Asia, where there is this regular interference in football management by governments, and so it steps in and tries to settle these disputes and call a truce. I believe my presence there will give me a lot of experience that will also help to build a good relationship between our association and the government, which we already enjoy here. I also learn from many other people and their experiences, and then try to replicate practices and maybe structures that will further build a good relationship between the Football Association and the government, and then ensure that we have a smooth relationship that will inure to the benefit.
Mr. President, for this year alone, we can count the number of appointments being CAF and FIFA. Can we say that Mr. Nyantakyi gradually is getting to a place where a higher appointment at these levels will be bestowed on you, say?
It looks inevitable, but I believe that God's time is the best. At the appropriate time, when I have to take up a higher appointment somewhere, it will be seen by all, and I believe that I also enjoy the support that I've enjoyed at the local front. These appointments are just not personal, but they are appointments that are giving me as a result of my contribution to the development of the game here, and I believe it's also a recognition for the stature or the status that Ghana football has attained in the League of Football Nations across the world.
Okay, so just last month marked 2 years of your second term in office. Please, how would you assess your term in office? For many, they think, yes, you've done very well. A lot of things, we can go on and mention the things that you've done. But for you personally, how would you assess your second term?
I think that it's been quite successful. The executive committee will do a review at the appropriate time to see the benchmarks that we set against actual performance, and then be able to see where we made successes or achieved successes and where we were unable to achieve the stated goals that we set ourselves, and the reasons for that. The reasons within our control, reasons outside our control, and then the way forward. But on the face of it, what I can say is that we have done extremely well. We've chalked successes in so many areas that we set ourselves tasks to accomplish. We, however, also came across some challenges that prevented us from accomplishing our objectives. But on a whole, all in all, I think that we have done tremendously well, but there is still a lot of work ahead of us.
Okay, so briefly on the under-20 team, currently they are in Turkey playing the World Cup. I'm sure you've been monitoring them. What do you make of their performance so far?
I think the team has done quite well. The team started on a very slow note, losing 2 matches on the trot and winning the third and most important of the matches. We have now moved into the knockout stages of the competition, and it's imperative that we win our next game on Wednesday against Portugal. It's not going to be easy at all, but I believe Ghana is more motivated to win in the next game, because having gone through a very difficult qualification series, we've learned a lot. I have personally spoken to the coach, and he has admitted some of the mistakes that we all saw in the first 2 matches. And the necessary remedial measures have been put in place to forestall some of those problems from recurring. They have also studied the Portuguese team quite well, and will put in place the necessary mechanisms to stop them from winning, and then to ensure we win. So I'm very, very hopeful that the Satellites team will go beyond even the group of 16, progress to the group of 8, that will be the quarterfinals, and then to the group of 4, which is the semifinals, and ultimately get to the finals. I'm very, very positive about that, and I have no doubt whatsoever in my belief based on what I have seen and the kind of training, the rapport, the confidence, the commitment that I'm seeing from the boys. I'm very hopeful about that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right, so there we are with Kwesi Nyantakyi, the president of the Ghana FA, who's been given the opportunity to serve as the head of the associations committee, where it will be more of dispute resolution. So we will be doing some more. We're still trying our best to reach our man Kwame Jumajiman, who's there in Turkey, and specifically in Kayseri, where the Black Satellites team will be playing Portugal. Portugal, obviously a very, very strong team. You send in your text messages about the kind of performance you're expecting from the Black Satellites team as we go into this clash, one more clash of destiny, and hope to seal a place in the round of 8 in this tournament. Let's keep on with some more stories here on Sports Today, and we now focus on one man who used to don the number 15 jersey for Accra Hearts of Oak, a stalwart defender and one of very good repute and quality as well. Well, he has a sad story to tell because he suffered a stroke recently and since then has been struggling with finances. And of course, Emmanuel Ajimandria is the player I'm talking about. Ajimandria played in the CAF Champions League and won it with Accra Hearts of Oak in the year 2000. Also played his football before Kumasi Asante Kotoko as well, and Ashanti Gold, a big name surely in the late 90s towards 2000 and the few years after that. And he is now asking for help. It's a sad story. Joy Sports cameras were at his residence at Kiseman here in Accra, and Tony Beverly caught up with him.
Since that evening, I start feeling this the sickness. It was like a film, and because me, I was laughing. I said, what is going on? So the doctor don't believe it, and the doctor said that, Abrantier, your BP is 200, but still, I can see you are strong. And I told her that, dog, it's by God's grace. Me myself, I don't understand. So she checked me up and down, and she admitted me. She said because of the BP and the sickness, I should stay there for. So they admitted me. And the next day, Saturday morning, I cannot wake up at all. My hand, even that Saturday morning, I can see that, and my face wanted to be the half. So I was laughing, and me still now I don't understand. So I was laughing. So I was admitted 1 week. So after the 1 week, they tried to do all type of tests. One, to take God as their personal savior, to respect, comport themselves, and dedicate themselves, serious training, and God will see them through. Thank you very much.
So that's the chilling story of Ajimandria. Remember, he was also part of the Black Stars team that was drafted from Accra Hearts of Oak that played Nigeria in that goalless drawn game here at the Accra Sports Stadium some years ago. And there we are, Emmanuel Ajimandria. He's not in the best state of health now, and he needs support. We'll do some more text messages here, and this one says, Bobo, take this advice from me. Start Boachi Adam and Isifwa up front. I know Ghana is going to qualify. Bobo makes the right choice. Go Ghana, go Black Stars. And this one says, Nat, you are my role model from Abdul Razak in Aflao. Thank you very much for those text messages. 1760 is the text code. It will cost you only 30 Ghana pesos, irrespective of the network you're on, to send us a text message. So stories gone by. The Black Satellites getting ready to play. The Portuguese team later today. Remember, there will be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM with the man Tony Beverly and the rest of the team. And so we will get into some more stories here, and there was big glory for certain sportsmen and women at the weekend, and Joy Sports caught up with some of the award winners from the SWAG Awards that was held at the weekend. Remember, Kweju Asamoah was the man of the night, picking up the Sports Personality of the Year, as well as picking up the Professional Footballer of the Year award as well. Mahatma Otu picked up the Premiership Player of the Year, and the list just goes on and on and on. Coach Masood Dramani Didi picking up the Coach of the Year award, and of course Joy Sports caught up with some of the awardees from that event, and they had a few words to say.
As a player, I felt great. It's not every player who has been able to win this award. This is the first time I've been nominated in the SWAG Awards and I've been able to carry. So I said I would like to say a big thank you to the Almighty God and to all House of Folk, the directors, my teammates, my colleagues, my technical team. I thank them so much.
And let's talk a bit. What do you think put you ahead? You think the number of goals that you scored? What really worked for you?
Oh, I think it's all about teamwork because goal scoring is all about teamwork. It's not an individual something.
It gives me the idea that it's always better to be working hard because people from distance can really see whatever you do, and I think that it's always good to continue to work hard and you achieve an award like this because it never comes easy. You need to work and then people will recognize your hard work.
Very great because I wasn't expecting this. First of all, I would like to give thanks to the Almighty God because He has made this possible for me, and I'm really appreciated for this.
What has this award mean to you? You've worked very hard for the Black Stars and for Juventus.
A lot. I feel so great because this is one of the most important things in my life. I might say a big thanks to God because He's the one that protects me through all injuries. So I might say I'm so happy for this award. And I know with this, I'm going to keep on doing the best for the Ghana national team. The most important thing is we have to do what we have to do. We have to continue on because we know how much important this game is for us. So we have to do our best and then give our heart out and then win this game for the nation. I know I have to do more than the way I did last year. So all I need to do is to work hard because it's not going to be easy because people will be expecting a lot from me. So I'll do my best and then work more harder than the way I did last year. Just looking forward to be one of the best in Italy concerning African players. So I'll try and do my best. Well, they are very good players, well experienced. I'm very happy if they come back because football is about a team. It's not about individuals. So if they come, they are welcome. So I think with the support of them too, we can do more better. Actually, after that game, I was there myself. It wasn't a big argument. It was just misunderstanding. He just asked the coach the reason why he was off, and the coach explained. It wasn't in a harsh way. He was just telling the coach the reason why he was out, and it wasn't like they were fighting or something. So there were no arguments.
Adding up that supposed incident between Coach Kwesi Appiah and Sule Ali Montaro, which has now obviously been laid to rest. So the Sports Personality of the Year award going to the man Kwadwo Asamoah, whom we just heard, expressing gratitude to many for contributions to his very flourished career. This text message, which is unsigned, says Ghana 1, Portugal 0. And then another text message says, not. I trust Coach Bobo and his boys. Today, they will make us proud. This is from Kwame Ode in Sunyani. Thank you very much, Kwame, sending this text message from Sunyani. The Black Satellites are going into that very, very crucial game, and it's expected that, the Black Satellites will give off 100% for performance. And, of course, that surely is going to be a 5-star performance. There's no doubt about that. So, Marseille... I want to put a figure on Andre Didiayew. Now, the French giants Olympique Marseille will only sell Ghana winger Andre Didiayew for a minimum fee of 15 million euros, and this is according to Ghana SoccerNet. Now, a number of stellar European coaches, including Arsenal, Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, and of course Liverpool, as well as Borussia Dortmund, are interested in signing the highly rated 23-year-old from the French giants. Now, English Premier League side Arsenal have reportedly tabled a bid that includes a swap deal with Ivorian Gervinho for the influential winger. Okay, so Marseille have also secured the UEFA Champions League spot for next season and are keen to hold on to the steamroller and have slapped a minimum of 15 million euros on the Black Stars winger. It's believed that Arsenal, who are enormously interested in the under-20, the former Ghana under-20 captain who also won the BBC African Footballer of the Year for 2011, they are also working very, very hard to get his signature. Remember that Arsenal coach Arsene Wenger made his way to South Africa during the FIFA World Cup in the year 2010 and had a brief meeting with Andre Dediayew. It just has not worked well so far, and the player is still within the camp of Marseille. Now, there is an Hearts of Oak defender who is now playing for South African side Leopards. His name is Karim Alassan. Remember him, don't you? Well, the South African top flight side Leopards, Black Leopards, have pulled out a major coup by bringing former Ghana Youth International Karim Alassan, who is expected to sign at the end of the week. Now, Alassan arrived in the country this morning and immediately traveled to Polokwane, where he will link up with the Leopards and then start training tomorrow as a news conference is expected as well, and he will be looking forward to performing big time for the team. All right, so there is more now. Liverpool have managed to sign striker Kolo Toure, and so they have completed the signing of the Manchester City defender. And this will be for a 2-year period. And he made 102 appearances for Manchester City after joining from Arsenal for £14 million in July of 2009. And was part of the team that won the Premier League in 2011, 2012. But he played only 18 games in the 2012-2013 season and was left out of the club's CAF Champions League squad. All right, so this one says that, Attoh, can you give me the time Portugal will play today? Well, it's 3 p.m. Local time. And this one said, I'm really sad for Ajimandria, and we should all join hands to help Ajimandria. God bless Mr. Kwesi Nyanteji. This is from Attoh Laundry in Kumasi. Thank you very much. That message from Attoh Laundry in Kumasi. In a bit, we'll also be delving into boxing, and we will now do a short break. But before that, let me just tell you about Emmanuel Tego, who's set to fight his first bout outside of Ghana, and he will be facing Geraldo Robles on August 10. Remember that the boxer won the WBA International and WBO Africa Super Featherweight Championship titles after winning rather controversially against Filipino boxer Ronald Pontillas here in Accra. So a very, very big challenge indeed for Emmanuel Tego, who will be looking forward to defying the rather hostile atmosphere that fans will create for him, being a boxer who is not coming from there, and it surely is going to be an interesting fight. Now, the fight will happen at the Morongo Casino and Resort Spa in Cabazon in California in the USA on August 10. So Tego was initially scheduled to fight in the USA in June, but delays in acquiring a work permit also shifted the bout to the early weeks of August. Now, this one says Ghana 2, Portugal 1, and it's from Pascal in Konongo. Well, in a bit, we will get into the discussion on boxing. We'll be doing some more, but let's also do a bit more on football. And Arsenal have signed Sanogo. Now, Arsenal have signed French youth international striker Yaya Sanogo on a long-term contract from the London club. And this was a report that came out on Monday. Now, Sanogo, who's 20 and a free agent after leaving League 2 Team Auxerre, has represented his country at the under-16, under-17 and under-19 level, and is currently with his national side in Turkey at the under-20 World Cup. Remember, he scored in their 2 matches in Turkey, helping France to qualify for the knockout phase. Sanogo has been with Auxerre since the age of 14, and he's made 24 appearances and scored 11 goals for the team. And there is still issues with selection in Nigeria. I'm talking about the Super Eagles team, and Coach Stephen Keshi has dismissed reports that he's set to recall Peter Osase Odemunje into the 2014 World Cup qualifier against Malawi in September. Now, Odemunje blasted both Super Eagles management and their team after he was left out of the squad in the build-up to the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. Recently, the reports suggested that Keshi was set to welcome back the West Brom star into his team. And he last played for the Super Eagles in February of 2011. And although the Nigeria boss has now denied all those claims, we are looking forward to seeing what will happen. Now, there is more in terms of text here. Another text message coming in and saying, the under-20 boys will beat the Portuguese by 3-1. And this is from Zibo in Takwa. Zibo, thank you very much. That is a rather encouraging text message. If the team is watching now, they surely should be very, very encouraged. Like I mentioned to you in a bit, we'll be talking boxing and the controversy that is reigning among the coaches. Remember, the coaches have always been a very, very vibrant and, and vocal body, and they have proven it one more time. It comes, this controversy comes just a little past 1 week after the same body accused the president of the National Amateur Boxing Federation, Ray Kwaku, of using his private gym for a national tournament. We'll be getting into all those discussions. President of the Ghana, the United Boxing Coaches of Ghana, Coach Godwin Nijani Kote, also known as Aloe in Boxing Circle, will join me in the studio very, very shortly. And we will now go into details of the CAF Confederation Cup. And CAF has disqualified two-time African champions Enugu Rangers from Nigeria for featuring junior international goalkeeper Emmanuel Daniel for the competition. In a letter addressed to the NFF General Secretary Musa Amadu and dated July 2, CAF said it was basing its decision on documents and letters sent by the club Shooting Stars and its chairman, which confirmed that by the time the player was registered on December 24, 2012, no agreement was found between Shooting and Enugu Rangers, Shooting Stars and Enugu Rangers for their player Daniel Emmanuel. Remember that he is not the only player who's surrounded by controversy. Of course, Sunday Mba, who scored the very big winning goal for Nigeria in that final game at the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, also is a big subject of controversy and is yet to settle down properly. So Enugu Rangers getting the sack for using somebody who was ineligible to, participate in the competition. And players and their ineligibility. Well, players and their ineligibility for playing matches is one subject that has popped up recently. Remember that Ethiopia also were, they were unable to get their points in that game, in a game that they played earlier in the qualifier. So they've been stripped of an earlier win, and they will lose 3 goals and 3 points as a result of that, giving South Africa a very big chance of qualifying for the final stage of qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup. So we will do some more stories here, but right now we'll do a round of commercials. And when we return, we enter the discussion on boxing and what is really happening among the coaches. Well. So there is obviously more here on the show, and now we want to delve into a boxing discussion. In recent times, there's been a lot of controversy in the reins of boxing. I'm talking amateur boxing. Recently, the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana stated clearly that they were averse to the decision to host the National Individual Championships by the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation at the residence or at the private gym of the president of the Amateur Federation, Ambassador Ray Kwaku. Ambassador Ray Kwaku owns the Bridge Boxing Gym where Joseph Agbeko trains regularly at North Ridge here in Accra, at Roman Ridge in Accra, I beg your pardon. And he used that place for that competition. But the coaches were averse to that decision. Now, a week after that, the coaches are now asking for the removal of the national amateur boxing coach, their colleague, Ofori Asare, who's been there for a period of at least 10 years, being an assistant trainer and the substantive as well. Remember, Coach Ofori Asare took over from Roberto Ibanez Chavez, Cuban trainer, who also led Ghana to many international competitions. Coach Ofori Asare has had a wealth of experience when it comes to taking the team to the African Championship, to the World Championship, to the Olympics, to the Commonwealth Games as well, and many other zonal championships. Now, there is a major accusation that he has failed to impart the knowledge to his colleagues as well, and he has failed to listen. Here with me in the studio this morning is Coach Godwin Nijani Kote. He is known as Aloe. He is also head trainer for former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey. He is also the head trainer at the Attoh gym here in Accra, and he has got thoughts on this subject. Coach Aloe, thank you very much. It's been a while since we saw you here in the studio.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. How's everything going? Obviously not too good.
But it's cool.
Okay. Tell me, why would you want the removal of Ofori Asare, who obviously has a contract with the National Sports Authority, who are yet to ask him to vacate that position?
Well, I think it is not having the contract with the National Sports Authority, but I think he is an employee of the National Sports Authority. And that's the main reason why he had the chance of being the assistant trainer for the former expatriate coaches that have been at the helm of affairs for the Black Bombers.
All right. Now, we will get into the bit about having the contract with the National Sports Authority, but you want him out, and there clearly are issues that the body, of coaches has with the man. What are these issues?
Well, I don't think it is the whole body of the Coaches Association who wants him out. Remember, Asare is the only amateur coach with a 3-star. He's the only amateur coach who's having the 3-star. And so he's competent, he's good, but we also have to think about it that position is not possession. So it is some of the boys who think he's not being fair to them when it comes to selection.
You're talking about the boxers?
Yes, when it comes to selection of the boxers into the national team. Asare works hard, he works very, very, very hard, and so he's got a lot of very good boxers who, in actual sense, will still have their way into the national team when even there is another person at the helm of affairs at the place. But because he is there, and at most times, most of his boys are into the national team. Most of the coaches also think he's not giving them a fair deal.
I see. So, because of that, they want him. Has he been approached? Has he been summoned to the because he is also a member of the United Boxing Coaches Association. Yeah, has this issue been addressed there?
He's the treasurer. He's the treasurer at the United Boxing
so has this issue been addressed with him?
Well, I think personally, he is a friend. He is a friend and everything to me. And so I think on one or two occasions, I've called him and I've tried to advise him if the pressure is coming on him too much, he should just abdicate. But I think maybe he's got his own plans. Maybe he wants to do it at the right time or at his own time. Okay,
I struggle to get all of this, that there are rifts and these things are just not going well. Now, so the individual championships have been held. He's been able to select a crop of boxers.
I don't think we will recognize that. We won't recognize whatever happened on that fateful day.
But that will mean a lot of that will mean a lot of trouble and a lot of problems, because if this thing has been done and has been sanctioned by the Amateur Boxing Federation, then it will hold.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think we've taken measures that that won't let this exercise be legitimate, because we wrote to the National Sports Authority informing them of the inconveniences that will crop up when the tournament takes place at the president's private place, because it's not conducive. The place won't be conducive to hold a national individual championships. No. It will be chaotic.
Okay. Chaotic in what sense? Are you talking about the space? Are you talking about...
Yes, I'm talking about the space, the size of the place. It's just a gym. It's not an auditorium or whatever it is, or a very big place. It's just a gym. And it will be even better to have staged this tournament in front of the RLG Atramani Hall, better than that place.
I see. So boxers have been selected already. Have you... You say you are averse to that decision of all the boxers who were selected from that individual championship?
Yes, we do. That's why I'm saying we don't even recognize that.
Okay, the Commonwealth Games are approaching and would have to go through some tournaments and all of that. What are you going to do?
No, what really brought about this problem is that the chairman was saying that we have to hold the individual champions has to come on because of all that you are saying. But in actual sense, at his place, the place is too small, because the number of boxers that will come for the individual championship will just blow the place up. And so the place is not convenient.
Okay, and you are telling me that your gym alone has 15 boxers?
Yes, I will be sending 15 boxers, and okay, somebody will be sending more than I will.
So the event has been held already.
Right.
Now, did you send your boxers there?
Not at all.
How many other gyms also? Which other gyms also withdrew from that competition?
A lot of, almost all of us. Almost all of us. Those who went and partake were those who comes from the prison services and those from the security services. Those whom we can't control. But those we can control, none of them took part.
Now, let me ask another question. Does your body, the United Boxing Coaches Association, does it also have membership? Do you have membership of these coaches from the security services? Are they also part of your body?
Yes, we have. But we also recognize the fact that theirs is a different case, in the sense that they will be controlled by somebody who is also not a member of the association, or who doesn't even understand what we are doing. And so we recognize that fact too. Okay.
So now boxers have been selected. So there is a very big risk in quotes, that the boxers who will be selected will not be those whom everybody acclaims or those whom everybody agrees with. Now, tournaments will be held, a qualification process will be done, and Ghana would want to make that appearance at the Commonwealth Games.
Right.
What specific action will the coach's body take? Because the Amateur Federation is bigger and has taken a decision. It's final.
Right. But I think they've taken a decision, but I don't think it's final. Because what really brought about this problem is that the president was saying that if there are no funds coming from the sports ministry, and if this thing, the tournament is going to be hosted in his place, it's going to cost, he budgeted 8,000 Ghana cedis, and he will foot it from his own resources. But we are saying no, it should be done by the National Sports Authority in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, so that it is done nationally. It's a national thing. It's not even a Greater Accra thing. So if we are doing this thing and you don't invite people from Gambaga and Kumasi and whatever it is, what is national about the whole issue? It's not national. We want it to be national. For all you know, once upon a time, somebody who was called Amezuri Akalayuri, he came from the north. He came and beat everybody, Copson and every Copson. Those days when Copson was at his peak, he stopped all of them and became a national champion, became a black bomber. How do you should also be thinking that somebody there can also do the same thing. Boxing is not a Great Accra thing. It's a national thing. When it comes to even, though there is the fact that most of the boxers come from Great Accra. I agree. But what you have to think, is that there are other good boxers everywhere. If you want to be good, you can be good. So if you say it's a national individual championship, what is national about it when those in Cape Coast doesn't even know about it?
I see. All right. So clearly, this is not going to be the end of this long-running dispute. But I do realize that issues are coming up, and it looks like you are not being listened to.
That's a fact, because on Friday before this tournament takes place on Monday, I think we wrote to the National Sports Authority, and up to now, there has been no response. We've not heard anything. We wrote to the National Sports Authority, the CEO, and copied to the Chief Sports Development Officer, Mr. Attoh. And up to now, up to today, we've not have any response.
Okay. So in this situation where you keep doing the advocacy and you're not getting listened to, what then becomes the way forward? Because it looks like you are just not making any headway with all your advocacy.
Well, I think sometimes it gets to somewhere where you have to hold the bull by the horns. And when it gets to that time, I think we don't have any option. We just do that. I think we've done that before and we can repeat it.
Holding the bull by the horn means
maybe when they go to camp, we'll go there and pick our boys. We'll even defy the orders of those who are in the security services or whatever it is. We just take our boys because we train them.
Okay. Now, let me understand something. Some of your members have had some of their boxers go into the individual championship, meaning that they agreed with the process that went on at the private gym of the federation president. So by going back there to withdraw their boxers, it will mean they would have done a U-turn on their own decision.
Yes, but you agree to disagree, and you disagree to agree. So maybe they come back and maybe have a second thought, and they can change their minds. We are human beings.
I see. Well, if you just joined us, we're still here on Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel. Big controversies raging within amateur boxing, and is a major subject for discussion this morning as well, as we build up to that big game between the Black Satellites and Portugal. This text message says, Bobo, this is your moment to shine and prove critics wrong. And this is coming from Kwame in 2nd D. Thank you very much, Kwame in 2nd D, for sending us that text message. And remember, it's 1760 for text. And we'll be bringing you a few more stories before we round up the show. But here with me in the studio is the president of the Ghana Amateur the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana, who are doing a lot of advocacy about certain things they're unhappy about. Now, there's also been the issue of imparting knowledge, the National Federation coach. You say that he's the only 3-star coach when it comes to all the amateur boxing trainers, meaning that he's the most competent and most, and the best qualified.
Right.
Now, have you as a body benefited from him knowledge-wise? Has any, course been organized over the period?
Why not? We ourselves have been organizing certain seminars or workshops within ourselves. And I think he does well. I help him to organize all these things. And he does what he has to do. But the problem is some of the coaches feel he has overstayed and they need a change. That's it. And change is so dramatic, nobody can stop change.
All right, well, we've been trying our best to reach Coach Ofori Asare on the phone line for his responses to all of these allegations, but unfortunately we are not able to. We're trying our best to get through to him. If we do, we're immediately going to put him on the phone line as we discuss the seeming big, turbulence that is hitting amateur boxing, and this surely is not the first time. Many issues coming up, and it just seems like one very big group or one big interest group is not having their interests served, and it is creating major problems. Now, your boxers who missed out on the individual championship, what have they been up to?
Well, we are still training, and we're hoping that the National Sports Authority will put things in place, and then we'll go and do the individual championship in a very proper way. Because what happened that they only had 6 bouts. You are doing a national individual championship, and you had 6 bouts across the whole country. 6 bouts. You've done nothing. It's very insignificant. So I think the National Sports Authority has to call everybody. Then we
6 bouts, meaning that it didn't even cater for every weight division.
There you go. That's the right word. 6 bouts. And we have 10 divisions in the amateur. So if you had 6 bouts, how many boxers do you even have for that individual champion? And you are calling it national. What is nationalistic about the whole thing?
I see.
So the president has to rescind his decision, come to the drawing table, then we organize this in a very, very proper way. In the manner of...
Let me ask you about the relationship with the Federation President, Mr. Ray Kwaku, who obviously has done a lot for the sport from yesteryear and is continuing to do a lot, devoting a lot of private resource into this. What has the relationship, the working relationship been like between your body, which obviously is very, very vibrant, and the Federation President, Ray Kwaku?
I can't say the relationship with the presidency or the executive board of the Ghana Boxing Federation and my body is very cordial. I can attest to that. I think because we've been, since they came into office, the first time that we met them was about 2-3 weeks ago. We've been writing to them for us to have a tete-a-tete something, and they always and almost deny us from meeting them. We don't even know the main reason why. And the last time we met them, he said he has not seen any letter of the sort. But we've been writing to them. We've been writing always to them. But we've never met before until the last time that we met when he brought out this program, of which on the same platform we said no. The time frame is even shorter, and then the venue is the worst of all.
I see. Now, let's do some text messages. This one says, Portugal is a very strong team and the boys should not take things for granted. Kofi in Sakumono wrote that. Now, as the defending champions, the Satellites haven't proven their worth. We are counting on them today. Go Ghana. This is from Sami in Teshi. Well, Sami, thank you very much for that text message. And remember that there'll be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM, and we will be bringing you all the live updates on that dial. That game will kick off 3 p.m. later today, and it is expected that the Black Satellites, from a Ghanaian perspective, obviously, the Black Satellites will be able to make it into the round of 16. I'll be asking Coach that football question later on when we're done with the major subject of boxing and what is happening over there. Now, somebody would just sit back and say that over the years, it looks like the coach's body has always been raging controversy and sparking controversy. Is it that the controversy is your middle name, or it's just that things regularly are not being done right?
Controversy is not our portion. Not at all. Why would we form a body just to bring about controversy? I don't think we'll be doing this.
But the coach's body is always at the center of all the controversy anytime it happens, whether it's in professional boxing or it's in amateur boxing.
Because things are not being done right. Because things are not being done right. In actual sense, let me tell you something. On one occasion, I think I personally met these amateur people, and I just told them, please, you know what, just as an incentive, when somebody's boxer is invited into the national team, just give the person a pair of gloves. Nothing of the sort has happened. So we train the boys with our own resources. Wherever we get the money, wherever we get the equipment and whatever it is, nobody cares. And when they are even called into the national team, things are not being done right for them. What do you think will happen? Definitely we will talk. We'll talk, because it's more of a philanthropic job. So definitely we will talk. And when we start talking, people say we are sparking controversy. I don't think so.
I see. Well, so the discussions obviously will continue, and I'm very sure that there is so much more to talk about. Coach, will surely be following you very, very keenly to see what goes on. Now, you said you've made attempts to officialdom and you haven't heard anything. Are you going to stop from there?
Not at all.
When have you planned to take the next line?
No, we will be reminding them. Maybe tomorrow we will write to them again, and then see where maybe they are trying to put one or two things together before they come back to us. But I think it's over a week now, so we'll try and remind them if they've forgotten.
All right. So Coach Alloway is still here with me in the studio. I'll be asking him his thoughts about the Black Satellites team. But right now, let's focus on football legend Diego Armando Maradona, who is the man who recently said that Brazil wouldn't have won the Confederation Cup. That's rather interesting. He says that, they probably just wouldn't have won it. And from where Maradona sits, obviously, he sees it completely differently. He says that if the team was playing in a more neutral venue, it would have been a different ball game altogether. I'm sure that, Coach, you watched that game between Spain and Brazil at the weekend. Yes, and what do you also think? Maradona is saying that because of the partisan crowd, the game went in favor of Brazil. Is that?
Well, it might also be a factor, but I think the boys from Brazil did very well. And one thing we all have to look at it is that whilst the Spanish team is aging, the Brazilian team is coming up. They are very, very youthful side. And from my perspective, I think they won because from speed and power. From speed, and because they are youthful side, they've got the energy to do it. Whilst those from the Spanish side are descending, they are climbing.
I see. And for you, what kind of indication do you get for the upcoming World Cup that Brazil is going to go through?
I think so. I think because of the way they develop the Spanish side, I think they are in to take the World Cup again.
Well, we would see about that. Ghana is also looking forward to a qualification to do better than was done at the South Africa edition. Remember, it was the very first World Cup to be hosted on African soil. Let's do some more, and we focus a bit on fun games. And Cuban-trained graduates here in Ghana held some anniversary games, and this was done here in Accra. It was a 30th anniversary soccer gala. Let's take a look at what happened.
And when we launched the event, we had a lineup of programs, which is the launch was the first one. We did a medical outreach where we took medical services to deprived areas in Afienya Township. And then we also started we did a donation at the prisons to help the inmates. And today is the third activity, which is the sporting activity. We also have in the line-up of activity the Esbekam Business Network, where we pull together all the Cuban-trained professionals, where we will brainstorm on certain business areas where we can find signages with the business environment and continue to grow our professions in the country. The final event is also the Esbekam Awards Night, where we want to recognize very determined and selfless professionals who were trained in Cuba, giving their quota back to the nation, and this is scheduled for August. Actually, the theme for the celebration is selfless and reliable service to nation building. So these are the lineup of activities we have, and here we are today with the sporting activity.
Cuban trained program started in 1983. And we are doing this program, which we are commemorating the 30 years anniversary of the program when it started. Because this program started and it's produced a lot of graduates, it's produced a lot of professionals into this.
Well, so that's supposed to be indoor, that's also a division of football. It's played very competitively all over the world. So that was played at the Accra Stadium. You identify that as the tennis courts, but it was converted to a football pitch. Let's also take a look at the university athletics team, which is getting ready for the World University Games to be held in Russia.
University Sports Association have ended their 3-week training camp at the University of Ghana, Legon, in preparation for the World University Games slated for Russia from 6 to 17 July. The contingent, made of 18 athletes and 10 officials, would leave the country tomorrow for the Kazan-bound Universiade. Ghana would participate in the sprints and long-distance events for both male and female, and will showcase some great talents harnessed from the various public universities in the country. Joy Sports caught up with some members of Team Gusa on the final day of training.
The preparation isn't that bad. We've trained not too long, but I guess with the training we've had, we'll do better when we go there.
As a team, we are praying to make like 51 seconds. My personal best, 12.5.
Actually, right now, I want to be part of the first 3. They should expect me coming back with gold.
Hopefully, we have trained for a longer period, for at least 1 month. So we are now on top form.
Funding for events of this nature has been a struggle for the Ghana University Sports Association. And treasurer of the group, Elvis Hagan, says this year was no different.
It's a bit unfortunate. Anytime we travel out, all that we hear or see is that the participating countries, in terms of that is at the tertiary level, are being funded solely by the state. Everything right from their preparation through competition. So even they come are borne by the state. Here we are left on our own. It's like perhaps nobody cares. So it's a bit unfortunate. We've been struggling for the past 4 weeks trying to get somebody to listen to us. Perhaps we would have to accept our faith and handle issues from our own level. So I'm praying that something good will come out of this. It's a bigger platform, but we are still believing that with the current crop of athletes that we have, we'll come home smiling.
The 3-week Universiade will see universities from around the world compete in over 27 sporting disciplines. China won the last competition, which they hosted.
All right, so there we are. Rather unfortunate story for the national team, the Ghana University's team that's going to the Universiade in Russia. Let's see what turns up. We'll be bringing you some more updates. Tune in to join news at midday. Tune in to join news in the evening for the sports brief as we bring you some more updates on this. Coach Asari, we're rounding it up. The Black Satellites are playing tonight against a very strong team, Portugal. What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, you have to know that I'm a Ghanaian. So I think and I wish Ghana wins.
Well, so Coach Alloway, he is Godwin Nija Nikote. He's the trainer for former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey, head trainer of Attoh Gym, and also leads the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana. My guest in the studio for today's edition of Sports Today. Thank you very much for joining us. Always keep it here on Joy Sports, on the Joy Sports channel, on Multi TV. And of course, there is surely more. I will be back on Friday with more reactions as we look ahead to a big weekend of sport. Thanks to the whole production team. Thanks to Joy Sports. Thanks to the technical team as well. You stay well. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the day. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.